Good morning from another beautifully sunny day in Tokyo. Today, I am shooting with Alex. He's a Tokyo-based photographer and someone that I've only recently been introduced to. Now, the main reason I want to speak to Alex today is because he's an exclusively film photographer and I have no idea about film. I want to learn more about it, and I'm sure there are many of you who want to learn more about it. Also, his style of photography is very different to mine, and I want to avoid interviewing people who just do the same as what I do. I want to interview a wide variety of photographers, whether I find their work inspiring or not, it doesn't matter. For me, it's, okay, I like that, that's very different, let me learn more about it. And yeah, I've never come across his work before until recently, and to me it's very interesting, and myself and I'm sure you want to learn more about it. So with nothing else to do, I will hand it over to Alex, and that's it. All right, so hello Alex, welcome to the channel, so good to have you here. Give us a brief overview as to who you are, what you do, and what you're known for.
Hi, thank you. I'm Alex Munoz. I'm from the United States, California, Florida, Los Angeles, Miami, San Diego. I've been living in Japan for the past 10 years, and I am a people photographer. That's how I would classify myself. I'm a freelance photographer. I do client photo shoots. I had one the other day, I had another one this weekend, and quite busy actually with the Sakura season, doing portrait photo sessions and stuff like that. But in my free time, my passion is street photography. So, and street photography is such a big genre, it's such a vast general genre. So I actually do quite a bit of styles of street photography. So I'm going to be doing one of them today, which is mostly street portraits. It's like half the time I do street portraits actually. So that's what we're doing today.
Really nice. And how would you describe your photography style? I know you've briefly mentioned street portraits.
Right.
How would you describe your photography to someone who has never come across you before? So they say, oh, you're a photographer, cool.
Yeah.
What's your photography about? What is it?
Well, when it comes to street portraits, right, or when it comes to candid street photography, my style is really to tell a story, of course, with people, and make sure that I'm kind of like documenting history, right? I'm documenting the area, the people in the area, what's happening, the action, the emotions, right? These are all really essential to me, and if I don't have enough of those things in the photo, then to me it's not a complete photo. So that's what I'm always after. And I'm also trying to make connections with people too as well. So I'm not shy. I'm a people person. I'm not the most outgoing person. Sometimes I get shy too, and I get quiet. And, I guess I'm a very emotional, moody photographer. My emotions, my vibe of that day will reflect into my photos. You'll see how I felt in my photos. So yeah.
Okay, I've just seen you've pulled out your camera, so let's just very briefly talk about gear. Everyone loves hearing about gear.
Sure.
So the question is, what gear and what cameras do you use for your photography?
Yeah, so this is one of my 9 cameras that I have. I have a problem, I'm not afraid to admit, but this is the Yashica Mat 124G. I've been using it for about a year now. I got it at a great camera fair here in Ginza, Tokyo. Got a good deal on it, negotiated for it. So I'm very happy about the price. Whenever I get a good deal for a camera, I'm really happy about it. So I'll shoot it a lot. And this is a 120 medium format film camera. So it's going to be 12 shots in a roll. And that medium format negative is quite big. It's 6x6 and like a square format, right? And you can crop it too as well, of course, because you have a lot of resolution with medium format film. So I will show you the photos that I take today, all mostly uncropped, I assume, all in square format, native square format. And I love the results of it. I actually have a roll in here already. I'm halfway through a roll. I forget what film is actually in here because it's been maybe a month or so since I shot this camera. But I think I have Lomography 800 inside, and it's a really sunny day. So I don't know how much depth of field I'm going to be getting, but with medium format, you get a lot of depth of field. So yeah, you'll see. You'll see the results. Good, good, good. Thank you so much.
I have to use my.
Thank you so much. You're my first person today.
Oh, is it?
Thank you.
We're filming a video.
I do some YouTube or something?
Yeah, I do this often around here.
I actually
and
have the same one.
do you?
Well,
It's
the
so cool,
camera.
right?
They're so good, aren't they?
Actually, let's see if we have Sakura around. I don't see any Sakura. But you know what? There's a nice spot over here. I like this spot. That's great. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Do
much.
you have any account?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Just I don't have to pull it up every time.
So you literally keep your QR code on your lock screen?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I'm literally doing this like all the time. Like
Wow.
this is. It's honestly a lot to keep up with all the people that I've met and to deliver the photos in the end.
Yeah.
Especially since shooting film takes a while.
How do you
know?
deliver the photos to the people?
I'll just send you a DM on Instagram. Can you send me a message first, so I know who you are, and then I can send it to you. I'll actually process this film as soon as possible, so I can send it to you right away. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good day.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
I'll
Enjoy
see ya.
the warm weather back home.
ありがとうございます。
Take it easy, mate.
じゃあまた。
For someone like me who doesn't do street portraits, that was
Sure.
an absolute masterclass on how to approach someone, how to interact,
Yeah.
pay a compliment, and it's
Thank you.
as someone who's watching it was very nice to see.
Oh, sure, sure.
My question to you is, when you are looking for a subject or when you're looking for someone, is there a particular cue
Right.
that? So obviously, I think with that particular guy he said that you liked his hair, or was
Right.
it the jumper? Was there anything
Right.
about the subject that piqued your interest?
Right. So I've made a video about this on my YouTube channel. You can check it out from a few years ago. But basically, when it comes to street portraits specifically, there's a number of factors that lead into somebody just being 100%, willing to, have their portrait taken of you. One is they're not busy.
Yeah.
They're not busy, right?
Right.
They're not involved in anything else. They have free time. They have an open demeanor, and especially you've talked to them for enough time that they would be undoubtedly open with you. So it doesn't. So I honestly. There's a lot of people doing street portraits these days, which is fantastic, which is great. And I'm all for it. So if you do street portraits out there and you have your way to do it, I'm not saying you're wrong, that your way is effective and works for you. But for me, I never talk about myself off the bat. I never start going up to people and saying, hey, how are you? I'm a street photographer. This is what I do. Blah, blah, blah. Look at my work. Look at my photos. Will you say yes? I'm never gonna beg for a photo. All right. I'm always talking to people, and I genuinely care about people. I'm a people person, like I said. So I'm gonna compliment people. I'm gonna tell people like genuinely, like, I think your hair's cool. Like, oh, how's it going? Like nice weather. Whatever it may be, I'm talking to people just for the sake of talking, and that's it. And then I'll say, like, after I've built up a little bit of rapport with them, where they trust me, I say, hey, do you have time? Do you have time? And then I'll wait. If they say no or yes, and that's it. And I think they'll understand what I'm talking about when I say, do you have time? I don't have to ask, can I take your photo? I just say, do you have time? Because I have a camera around my neck usually, and we've reached that point. I'm a photographer. We already got there.
So we're only about 15 minutes into this video, and what strikes me straight away is that Alex has a genuine interest in meeting people, finding more about people, and his interaction isn't about the photo, it's about just getting to know someone. And if he gets a photo at the end of it, that's almost like the icing on the cake. That's cool to see.
This is my stomping grounds. I'm always around here.
Yeah.
I'm always scanning with my eyes.
On that topic, as a Tokyo, well, dare I say native now.
Sure, I guess.
So someone's coming to Tokyo for the first time, let's say they love your style of photography.
Sure.
Where would you send them to shoot?
Shibuya, Harajuku, Shinjuku. But I think Shibuya is the easiest. And Shibuya includes Harajuku, Omotesando, which is where we are right now. The kind of Omotesando area of Harajuku, which is in Shibuya city or ku or area. So yeah, Shibuya is kind of one of the easiest because everybody comes here. So you're gonna find a lot of variety of different kind of people and subjects and places and things like that. Another easy one for anyone to jump into would be Ginza, for sure, Ginza. Especially if you like to shoot a little slower, a little bit more concentrated on things more than people. Then I think Ginza has a lot of things to play with.
Nice.
Yeah, environments, buildings, and things like that.
With your photography,
Yeah.
now it might be a bit of a philosophical question, but do you do it for fun, just for purely your own fun?
Oh, sure.
Or do you have a more high-level, holistic view of your work that might come to fruition in like 20 years?
Oh, sure. Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah. Of course it's fun. Of course it's fun. But I would say after a couple of years of it just being just for fun, I started to understand really what I was doing in a greater sense after a couple of years of doing it. Which started in San Diego, California, downtown San Diego, California. That's where I started street photography, which is a great place to learn. It's very nice downtown, actually, compared to LA downtown, which is a mess. But anyways, after a couple years of doing street photography just for fun, I realized and learned really more about street photography's history and the connections, the very real effect that street photography can have on the world. So your photos can record history, time, people, places very effectively, more than we will ever know until perhaps we're dead even.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So, a lot of the street photography that we see from the past, like 20s, 30s, 40s, and et cetera. Those are so powerful, right? Those are so amazing. The 50s, 60s, these photos that we see throughout history, they're so valuable, and being able to look back on that and say, like, look, this is how people interacted, this is how the world was. It's important. What if World War III breaks out tomorrow?
And if we look back at those photos from that time, of course there was less photographers, there was less volume of it.
Yeah.
These days, everyone's a photographer, everyone's got an iPhone in their pocket, or Android if you swing that way.
Sure.
And everyone's taking photos.
Yeah.
How do you process that in terms of, do you still think that plays an important role, or do you think that having a creative eye and doing it, not just mirror selfies, but do you see what I'm trying to say here? Like, do you think the meaning of photography has been diluted because everyone's doing it compared to 50, 60 years ago?
Yes and no. It's difficult to say. I think so. Nobody's photography is invalid. Nobody's that's taking photos these days. It's not like those photographs don't count for something. You know what I mean? But the people that really love photography, that love, that passion will translate into the photo, and then you'll start to care about composition and lighting and the subjects and all of these things that make a great photograph, and that will then make all photographs better by process of just like kind of trickle down effect of like people looking at your photos and saying, oh, I like that. Why do I like that? I like it for this reason. I'm gonna do that too. boom, we got a
Cool.
new passionate street photographer out there. So
That's it.
I think it's great. Yeah.
Cool. One other thing that I noticed with Alex is his passion for the art of photography and for the craft of photography. I've made it public that with my work, I love to travel, I love to explore, I love to walk around with a camera. Photography is more of a visual journal for me of my life. That's how I approach it. For Alex, however, photography comes first. For him, photography is what, by the sounds of it, he lives and breathes for. And that is very clear and evident in how he talks about it, how he expresses it. And that has a trickle-down effect even on me. Just by listening to him, I feel more motivated to go and shoot. So it's definitely very refreshing to see that approach in the world of content and, let's just say, fast fashion photography, to have someone who is so focused on the art side of it and slowing down. That's one takeaway as well. Of course, with street portraits approaching people, there's always that risk of rejection.
Sure.
And even confrontation in some scenarios.
Sure.
My question for those who want to do what you do, but are scared of rejection and confrontation, what bits of advice would you give them to overcome that? Maybe from your experience or lessons you've learned, how you've dealt with it.
Right. Well, I would say that if it doesn't fit in your personality type to take street photography in a candid way, upfront way, then don't do it. You know, nobody's forcing your hand except yourself, right? But if you have that drive, if you have that motivation to go and take photos of people, candid, asking, whatever it may be, right? If that's your passion, if that's your drive, work at it, get better at it, take time to do it. I've been doing this for over 10 years. Of course, I was bad at it at first. But you know, the most important thing to remember is that when it comes to doing street photography, candid or otherwise, your reason should be there with you in your front pocket, ready to go. So if somebody has a problem with how you're photographing, why you're photographing, you should have that reason. You should have that laundry list of reasons and things to talk about with that person, with that subject, or people, multiple people, because I often photograph even multiple people at once, you know, layering different subjects and things like that. So if somebody is having a problem with me and how I'm photographing them or a situation, I'm very open to the conversation. I'm never going to take a photograph of someone or some group or some situation without being open to having that conversation with the person about why I'm taking that photograph. I'm taking the photograph because I want to document the history. I want to document this situation. I care about you. I'm interested in you. I think that you're very cool, very fashionable, right? There's so many different reasons I could take a photo of somebody, and I'm open to that conversation. So
There'll be someone watching now who is introverted,
Sure.
who might not feel comfortable doing this, but they really want to do it. It's not their personality type,
Right.
but they really want to.
Right.
But there is
Yeah.
still something holding them back, and they say to you, can you give me a practical, not philosophical, but a practical bit of advice for how I can overcome my anxiety over approaching these people? Is there anything like a action list
Sure,
that you
sure.
think you can give someone who does not fit the extroverted, charismatic street photographer type, like let's say yourself, but still wants to do it and wants to learn?
And just push yourself in baby steps, and little by little, maybe get closer and closer, and put yourself in environments that you're going to be successful in. I know full well that there's environments out there that if you go try to do candid street photography, you're not going to have a good time. I know that full and well. I've done street photography in multiple cities around the world. I know what it's like to be in a more, aggressive environment, right? So I'm not going to say that all environments are created equal. So put yourself in a good environment that you're going to have success in, and that's going to give you the confidence to go into more and more, unpersonable environments or shyer environments, colder environments. So that's it. And I would say walk along with other photographers that have been doing it longer than you and have the confidence that you wish you had. There's nothing wrong with taking advice from somebody in person. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, go for it. Do a workshop. They're busy in a conversation, so like I said, again, don't interrupt people if they look busy and ask for a photo. They're probably going to say no. Don't set yourself up for rejection like that.
So I remember when we first met, you
Right.
mentioned that you used to shoot mainly digital, and then
Yeah.
circa 2020, if I'm not wrong, ish, you switched over to film, and now you're very much in film.
Yeah,
Why the switch?
so many reasons.
Top three.
Top three reasons. It helps me. It forces me to be selective. It's a forced selective situation where I have to then look and say, is this photo worth the money? Really, at the end of the day. But is it worth expending a frame on my film roll? You know what I mean? And I can't just like say, we'll see. I'll just fire away and see what happens. And sometimes that's nice. I do miss digital in that sense. You get those kind of happy mistakes sometimes, those lucky happy mistakes, which I got all the time on digital as well. But I like the intentionality of film. It's just plain and simple. I'm not saying you can't be intentional with digital. This is not a slight on digital shooters. I still shoot digital for client work and for professional work and stuff like that. But when it comes to street photography, I like film because the intentionality, the consistent look is number two. The consistent look. So a lot of times I'm shooting film. Why I'm shooting film is because I have a project in mind. I have a zine, I have a photo book, I have an exhibition that I'm shooting for. So choosing a particular film stock, whether it's color or black and white, will help keep that consistency for the final product that I'm trying to make, right? And right now, my project I have in mind for street portraits I'm shooting for, and for more candid street photography I'm shooting for, and that's called Tokyo Revival, and that's a story of post-COVID, coming back from the COVID era. So then third reason would be that the printing process is really fun and cool. I enjoy it. When it comes to black and white film, I can load the film, bulk load it, I can shoot it, I can develop it, and then I can print it at home in my home darkroom. I have a compact home darkroom setup. So from A to Z, from step 1 to step 6 or 7 or whatever, I have a final product in the end, a physical final product. Yeah.
And someone who's watching this who might want to get into film, they've never shot film, so myself is one of these people. I've never shot film. What advice would you give to someone who's just looking to start filming? They don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole, which I'm sure you can, but they just want to, let's just say, whet their appetite, so to speak.
Sure.
What basic advice would you give them just so they don't go down the wrong rabbit hole?
This is hard because I'm real deep in the rabbit hole. I'm thinking that you should just get a simple point and shoot camera and just have a go at it with your friends. Don't take it too seriously. If you like the results in the end, that's all that matters. If you can afford it, you can afford it. If you can't, you can't.
If someone is just starting photography today, and
Yeah.
I don't mean film photography, just photography,
Sure.
would you recommend film or digital?
Digital, 100%. Yeah.
I thought so.
Film is something that I'm shooting because I've already established very much so the kind of photos that I'm going for, the kind of the style of photography that I'm going for. And so there's no question of when I should fire the shutter. When I fire the shutter, it's undoubtedly, this is me. This is what I want, right? And if you're just starting out, it doesn't make sense to shoot film. It doesn't.
Is there anything that you miss about digital?
Oh, absolutely. The convenience, absolutely. The immediacy, that kind of stuff. But that immediacy, I don't really care for anymore when it comes to my personal street photography and these kind of things. So it's not something I miss tremendously, but it's nice. It's nice to have that convenience. But I have rules. I have undeveloped rules from months ago that I'm still working through developing at home. So I just, after a while, you kind of let go. It's like, oh, I took these many photos today. I have so many great photos. I'm so excited and stuff. And you just have to kind of just like, let it go, relax. The photos are on the roll. They're not going anywhere. Just chill out. Just don't keep them in the sun, a hot day, in the glove compartment. Just like keep the roll safe, and you'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll get over it.
Cool.
Yeah.
What Alex has just mentioned about sitting on the photos and not getting overly too excited about the shots you've just taken, that is literally me. That's something that I suffer from so much. Say, for example, after this interview, I'm going to go and shoot for a bit on my own. I can guarantee you the moment I get back to the hotel, I want to get that SD card into the laptop and just go through the photos, edit them, publish them, post them. And it's almost like I just want to close these things as quickly as possible. And to be honest with you, the idea of just sitting on the photos and not looking at them for a while and just taking your time is something that I am starting to think about more and more. I think for me, it would personally come when I stop traveling so much and settle down, because it's just unrealistic at the moment. But for sure, Alex's approach is one that I want to take with digital at some point in the future.
Oh yeah, that's the spot right there. That's that spot. Ooh, that one's good too. But the tree's higher. This one's lower.
So you're looking for a location to shoot someone?
Yeah, we'll see though, because I'm not somebody who just stands around and waits for a subject to come to me. I'll kind of move around a bit and try to interact with somebody in a more natural way.
Right. No.
Yeah, it's hard. The street portraits just kind of happen. You can't really force them. Nice hat. 帽子かっこいい。あ、いいですね。いいですね。Diamondbacks。は美味しい？
美味しい。
本当？時間大丈夫？写真撮っていいですか？ここ。
はい、どうぞどうぞ。
一枚いい？
あ、俺が？
いや、そう。単品で。いいですか？ああ、いいですね。完璧。いい雰囲気です。はい、撮ります。はい。ごめん。もうちょっとここで。そう、right there。そう、いい感じ。いいですね。ありがとうございます。Thank you。じゃあ、Thank you。See you。Perfect. Now that I got that out of the way, all the other street portraits is fine. I'm chilling now.
What did you like about that character?
I just got it. Well, he was just confident in himself. He was cool with himself. So that's what I like. So when they get in front of the camera, they're already good to go. I don't have to relax them and this and that. There's no work involved. I already do that for my own client photo work. I have to relax my clients and stuff like that.
Do you think because you come across so confident and sure in yourself, so that puts him at ease? So I used to do street photography workshops back in London when I lived there.
Sure.
And one of the biggest things I used to say to people is, when you're confident and you could see that you're confident as a photographer, people trust you and they know that you're gonna not do anything weird or
you're not fucking around.
Whereas sometimes you'll see photographers who are just fumbling around and they're looking at the ground and closed body language.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, it just comes with just practice. You know what I mean? I've taken like thousands of street portraits, so it's just really easy for me to just interact with somebody. And here, this is one of the most friendliest, easiest place to take street portraits. You don't have to be able to speak Japanese here either. There's some days where it's like, I'm coming out here and I don't even want to speak Japanese. I just want to speak English. So I'm tired of speaking Japanese. I speak Japanese when I'm out. I speak Japanese when I'm home with my wife, with my kid. I just get tired of it. I'm just going to speak English. I come out and I pretend I don't speak Japanese. I just speak English. I come out here, come out there, wherever in Tokyo, and still be able to get it done. But yeah, that's because I'm confident. I have nothing to hide.
You don't have any kind of negative, bad agenda. You want to make people look. You want to show people in the best light possible.
Absolutely, 100%.
And I think this is this is probably why you come across so confident and open, is because your true intentions for what you do are positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to make people look good. You don't want to get just a few clicks on an Instagram reel.
No, it's not worth anything. It's not worth anything. All the value is there in the positivity, in the positive photos, in the good photos. There's no value in using photos in a negative way, or taking photos of people in a negative way.
Or just to try and gain something for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no value in there. Yeah.
If you're finding this video useful and wish to support the channel, then one of the best ways to do so is to check out my Fujifilm camera guides. I only make guides for cameras I've personally purchased and owned for at least 6 months. This ensures that any advice I give is based on the real world experience. These guides are designed to save you time and remove a lot of the trial and error that comes with setting up new cameras. They cover the main features that most people will use and will show you how to set up your camera for efficiency, ease of use, and to get the best results. If you've just purchased a Fuji or want to learn more about your current camera, these guides will definitely help. For more information, see the links in the description, and thank you for your support.
Nice hair. かっこいい。かっこいい。時間大丈夫？写真撮っていい？ Yeah. Woo. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
ここで。そう。はい。なんかちょっとオフセットで、はい。ここで、はい。ここ here。ここ立って。Okay. ここ立って。真ん中で。Okay, nice. もうちょっと。Oh, yeah, okay. That's good. Perfect. I like it. Let's go. 撮ります。せーの。いいですね。Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think they wanted that photo more than you did, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. And when you have that hair, when you have that fashion, that style, you're asking for it.
Right.
You want it. You know
and
what I
mean?
mean?
You probably do that because you want to get attention, you want to get noticed,
exactly.
You want pictures.
Here I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've answered their call, you know?
Nice. Well, there's a motorbike behind you as well. You've been shooting for a while now.
Yeah.
Was there a particular moment where it clicked for you? Or a moment where you thought, actually, I'm starting to understand photography, I'm starting to understand my relationship with photography? Was there ever a moment where it just clicked?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm distracted right now. これ何? Office? 何の office? 会社? 何の会社? ごめん。
映像制作とか。
Okay, very cool.
Vlog?
Yeah, vlog. そう。今日写真撮ります。みんなあちこちで。そう。そう、フィルムカメラです。そう。かっこいい。
すげえ。
見る？
見たい。
OK、どうぞ。なんかここにラッスンよく見ます。
お、すげえ。
すごくね？楽しいですよ。いいと思う。そうするとタバコ吸っていいですよ。
全員映ってます。
はい。
天才。
OK。いいですね。 Thank you.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。そうですね。インスタある？
あります。
Okay. ちょっと待って。Cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Back to the question at hand.
Yeah.
At which point
Sure.
did photography click for you?
Clicked for me when I realized that I could use photography to improve my Japanese. When I could go out on the street, I could interact with people, and that could be my form of studying and learning Japanese because I'm quite bad at studying. I get tired of it very easily, especially when you live here. It's actually quite difficult for me personally to study Japanese while living here because I'm already so ingrained in the culture living here. My wife is Japanese, and I used to be an English teacher, so when I had to go to work, I'd be speaking Japanese and be reading Japanese. This is daily life, always Japanese, Japanese, Japanese. So to go home and study Japanese was like, really? Are you kidding me? More? So at least when I'm doing photography, the learning in Japanese is very passive. It's very natural. Like the conversation I had back there, that's just years of just like casual conversation. I've just naturally grown to be able to do. And so, photography clicked for me when it's like, wow, I can use it for my own, personal, reasons of enjoying photography and growing my work, but learning more Japanese, making my wife happy too that I can learn more.
Was there any technical aspect of photography
Sure,
that
sure,
clicked
sure.
for you? So this is kind of more on a
technical
holistic
space.
side, on a holistic side.
Right.
Technical space. Was there
Right.
a particular way of shooting, maybe how you
Okay.
spotted light or
Sure.
anything like that?
Absolutely. So on a technical standpoint, when photography, I think I realized what made a good photo and what made a good photo for me was when I was able to take a photo that I could take that I shot, and if it was in color or black and white, it worked no matter what.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
And so I didn't use color as a crutch, and I didn't use lighting as a crutch or composition as a crutch. They were all together, working together. So when a photo has good lighting, composition, and lighting, composition, and subject, then it was a good photo for me. And that's when I realized also that I can shoot it on film because I could look at it and say, yeah, everything's perfect about this. It's gonna work out. The photo is worth it. Take the shot, And so for a technical standpoint, that's it. How many tattoos?
もう全部
全部
Full
sleeve? 足も
フルスリーブない
あ、ナイス。いいですね。足もタトゥー欲しい。
足は出してほしい
でも今ない。
あない
欲しいですけど。
カメラかっこいい
ありがとうございます。
めっちゃかっこいいです
そう、フィルムカメラ。あと1枚ある。そう。
すごい
写真撮っていい？
やった
いいですか？
嬉しい
Thank you.
Thank you どんな
なんか普通の感じ。
する感じ
はい、タバコも吸っていいです。
あ、どうも
いいですよ。はい。Oh, I like the song. この曲。
Listen, Alex, it's been a pleasure having you on the channel. I
Thank
think
you.
it's time to go grab a coffee. And how
Absolutely.
many rolls of film?
Get a New York style pizza.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's
How
actually-
many shots have you got left?
Actually, I have one more left on this roll, and then we'll pop open the Fuji Pro Farner Nation and shoot that, and you'll probably see that. Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll see that. If you don't see that,
Sure.
it's because we've had too much pizza and we've had a nap. All right. Well, thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much.
Where can people find you?
Yeah.
I'll link you below anyway.
What an honor to be on here. I'm rebuilding my website right now. It was just alexmunozphoto.com before. But for now, you can go on my Instagram at alexmunoz.photo. And you can go on my YouTube, Alex Munoz, or Alex on Streets. You can type either one, Alex on Streets. That's how people usually know me. Yeah, that's me.
Cool.
That's me for now.
Time for pizza?
Time for pizza.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So yeah, just don't do anything specifically for the camera, just do as you would normally do.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that was actually black and white. No problem. Free developing for me then at home. I don't have to pay for the developing. Because developing black and white at home is incredibly cheap, just pennies. And I'm doing them all. Ah. Kodak makes you lick. Fujifilm has a built-in sticker.
Is that just to seal it so you
to
don't
seal it, yeah.
shoot over it or something?
Yeah, there's a paper backing, and the film is actually inside that paper backing.
Uh-huh.
So it's protected.
Uh-huh.
From light, obviously. That's got a good seal. It's got a good seal on it.
This is almost like a therapeutic process.
It really is.
Do you know what? Like I used to, when I was much younger, I used to be into my mountain biking a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember after you come back from like a good ride,
right,
and then you'll clean your bike, re-grease the chain, sort out, like make sure the gears are good, like, and that was almost as much of a therapeutic process as the cycling itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And this kind of feels the same, right?
Right. It does have that kind of feeling. This is
Yeah.
Pro 400H. Love this film. This roll was given to me by a friend. So I'm very happy to get this roll. And I do love the kind of vibrant, kind of like 80s, 90s vibe that the colors give off with this type of film color. So. This happens to me sometimes where I'm not good at loading.
So I cut this out.
It's all good. It's a pain in the ass, actually, this camera, to load it. So
Is it a Rolleiflex?
it's like a Rolleiflex, you know? It's a Japanese Rolleiflex.
Mm.
Japan's answer to the Rolleiflex, really.
Where's Rolleiflex from American?
It's actually German,
Mm.
and then American. I don't know. I don't have a Rolleiflex. Let's go.
How much did this thing set you back?
Actually, I got this for like $400 or $500 US. I negotiated for it for the camera fair, so they usually go for like 800. So I got a really good deal on it. To the line there. Okay. One. Good to go. Locked. Loaded.
All right. Sweet.
If you're finding this video useful and wish to support the channel, then one of the best ways to do so is to check out my photography zines. I publish a zine following each major trip or destination where I share not only the photos that you might have seen, but also a ton of photos that I didn't share on social media. The zine is the lowest cost way one can support the channel and also see many photos that have never been shared. For more information, see the links in the description, and thank you for your support.